The world is grieving the loss of a talented athlete, Chavez Hart. Losing such an important figure in the world of athletics has left fans all over the world shocked and dismayed. But what's the cause of even more heartbreak is how the young athlete died. In this video, we'll be going over the tragic death of Olympian star Chavez Hart and the legacy that he's left behind, starting with the details about his sad demise. So what led to this incredibly talented Olympic sprinter's death? Being in his healthiest form and at the top of his career, it's difficult to accept that Chavez Hart is no longer here. Well, Hart lost his life because of a gunshot wound. On Saturday, at around 2 a.m. local time, Chavez was at a nightclub in Mount Hope. While he was enjoying his night out with his friends, he reached the club's parking lot, which is where this deadly incident occurred. TMZ Sports reported that a fight broke out between two men near a car. It's unclear whether Hart knew those men or not, but apparently, Hart jumped in to break the fight between the two. During this tussle, one of the men went to his car and pulled out a gun, and then the unthinkable happened. He shot Chavez in the chest. Chief Superintendent Chrislyn Skippings claimed that the police were called to the scene just after 2 a.m. When the paramedics arrived at the parking lot, Hart showed no signs of life. Then, he was immediately rushed to a local hospital known as Marsh Harbor Clinic. Once there, he was pronounced dead. The Royal Bahamas Police claimed that the suspect is still in their custody, and an investigation is underway to find out what exactly happened. What makes this whole thing even more tragic is that it happened just a few days before his 30th birthday. Chavez left behind a wife and a young son. Let's take a look at how the news of his death was received by the world. Both local and international sports communities have been shaken by the news of Hart's murder. The Bahamas Olympic Committee was one of the first organizations to mourn the loss of the Olympic star. On their social media, they posted a statement that spoke at length about his accomplishments, which included his record-breaking stats. They also mentioned how he was, quote, a proud native of Abaco, which highlights how despite the international fame, Hart owned his culture and roots. The committee stressed Hart's humility and his eagerness to represent his country on bigger platforms. They also offered condolences to his friends and family. So far, there's only been a statement from his mother, who mentioned how Hart was always trying to give back to his community. His mother also cried over how she'll miss him dearly. We can't imagine her grief. A GoFundMe page has been set up by his fellow athletes to help support his family during this difficult time. Even the Prime Minister of the Bahamas offered his condolences over Twitter. Prime Minister Philip Brave Davis lamented the loss of the talented athlete. He also mentioned he and his wife will be keeping his family in their thoughts and prayers. His Texas A&M coach, Pat Henry, even issued a statement over his death. Pat recalled Hart as being a soft-spoken man who was also one of the kindest people he had met. With all of this outpouring of love, it seems that Hart lived a rich life filled with love and laughter. Moving on to what Hart had planned for his future. Being back in my hometown, Chavez was intending to do a lot more track and field sports in the Abaco Islands. A month before his death, Hart had launched a track training program in North Abaco. One of his mentors, Reverend Anthony Williams, mentioned that he was already in the process of recruiting young athletes to join his program. With events like the Bahamas Games and Carifta Games starting in 2023, he was committed to finding young talent. Hart was also a business entrepreneur, as he owned a club in Freeport, Grand Bahama called Club Magneta. So, he was a very busy man who was always searching for ways to give back to the community he came from. Even in his final moments, he was trying to break up a fight and save another person's life. Anthony Williams insisted that there needs to be more work done to keep these athletes safe and away from a life of crime. We couldn't agree more. Now, all that he managed to do. For those of you who don't follow the world of athletics that closely, let's get acquainted with what made Chavez Hart such a valuable athlete in the sports world. Chavez was a Bahamian track and field sprinter born in Coopertown, which is a small village located on the Abaco Islands. Chavez had an early debut when it came to his athletics career when he took part in the Carifta Games at the age of 19. He ended up winning a bronze medal in the 100-meter individual relay. He was later recognized by and offered a full ride to Texas A&M University. The university took him on as a sprinter, and he even won a gold medal for the uni at the NCAA Indoor Championships in 2015. Things were looking up for the Bahamian sprinter. He even represented his country in the 2016 Olympics and also won a silver medal at the World Indoor Championships. Hart was also known as the third fastest man in the Bahamas after he finished a 100-meter relay in 10.10 seconds. He stood behind Derek Atkins, who is the second fastest Bahamian-born sprinter. He's best known for being a sprinter, with the 400-meter relay being his best event. With this record, the 29-year-old sprinter had a promising career ahead of him, which was cut tragically short by his sudden death. This was a loss that fans are going to be mourning for a long time. We can only hope that his family and friends get the patience and resilience to make it through this tough period. Other news. First off, the winners from this year's Wanda Diamond League Championships. The Diamond League Championships finally wrapped up in Zurich this week. At the end of the tournament, 32 winners were awarded around $30,000 each and a wild card entry into the World Athletics Championships in 2023. Among the 32 winners were 13 Olympic gold medalists and 7 world champions. To qualify for the final stage in Zurich, the players had to start gathering points from May 14th in Doha. The winners posed with their diamond trophies at the Letzigrad Stadium in their tracksuits. Among the winners was the iconic Armand Duplantis, who's broken 5 world records already this year, and Toby Amusan, who's also a track and field champion. Following up with the track and field championships at the Gala dei Castelli. At another athletics event held in Switzerland this week, there were many records broken. Jasmine Camacho Quinn from Puerto Rico won the women's 100-meter hurdles with a record time of 12.72 seconds. America's Nia Ali came second, and whereas Poland's Pia Skrzowska came third. Looking back at the footage, it seemed that Quinn was in absolute disbelief when she crossed the finish line. Her eyes were glued to the scoreboard as she couldn't believe her name was on the top. She tearfully hugged her opponents and celebrated her win. In the men's 400-meter hurdle race, the gold medalist from the Rio Olympics, Wade van Niekerk, came first. Grenada's Kirani James came second, and South Africa's Zakti Nene finished third. Finally, let's wrap up to see who dethroned the best pole vaulter in the world. Armand Duplantis has been on a career high this year with constant victories. He's known to be the best pole vaulter this age has ever seen, breaking his own world record for the 5th time just this year. He seemed to be unstoppable, but in the Diamond League in Brussels, there seems to be a new pole vaulter in town who's finally broke the young Swede's winning streak. EJ Obina from the Philippines bested the world #1 pole vaulter Armand Duplantis. On his 3rd attempt at the pole vaulting round, he cleared 5.91 meters, which the world record holder was unable to match up. He did come in second though, with 5.81 meters. But the Filipino vaulter was beyond thrilled to have made such an achievement. This was also his first Diamond League victory. After landing that 3rd attempt, Duplantis himself came towards Obina to congratulate him, followed by USA's Christopher Nilsson, who came in 3rd at the event. Obina proudly posted his achievement on his social media, calling it, quote, core memory. This has been added to a recent string of achievements, as he's also had quite an impressive run in Germany and Switzerland in the past weeks. But he was still unable to break Duplantis' world record of attempting the highest pole vault in the world, which stands at 6.21 meters at the moment. Let's see whether this competition between the two stays strong in the upcoming World Athletics Championships. That's a wrap for this video. What do you think about Chavez Hart's tragic death? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.